feel pain and I feel no pain. 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 It's a red, I feel pain and I feel that I feel pain. Get up. Oh, pain if I love. Can't get enough. I get rough. It's a red, I feel pain. Oh. Sup, chat? How's it going? So, hold on. Wait, where did I put that thing now? Ah, there. 1 second. So, all right. Am I done? I am, kinda. Let's see. So, take a quick snack. Sup? How's it going? Yeah. Things happened yesterday. I've got things to talk about. Anyways, yeah. Other than that, other than the main story, let's start out with anything else. So, let me also pull up chat and everything. There we go. Yeah. So, first of all, today's stream will be a little shorter than usual. Because I have to be somewhere around midnight. So, in 3 and a bit hours, I should probably set an alarm for that. Let's say 23:15 should be good enough. So, yeah. So, today's stream will be shorter than usual. We also started later than usual, but that's a different story. Yeah. Also, I don't particularly know what else to do other than the quick story time that we have. Oh yeah, right. I do actually know what to do. I want to play some Minesweeper later on. Because, okay. Hold on, let me pull it up. Let me pull that up. Minesweeper Online. So, I've played a little bit of Minesweeper and I'm now at 596 LP. And at, level master. the highest level that you can have is Grandmaster, and that starts at 600 LP. So I'm 4 LP off of Grandmaster at the moment, and I've got like LP gains of roughly 5 LP. Might be a little more, might be a little less, depending on the game, but roughly 5 LP per game. So that's something we'll do later. We'll play a little bit of Minesweeper to try and get to Grandmaster, because I still think that would be a hilarious flex to be Grandmaster in Minesweeper. Yeah. Other than that, I have reverted the thing with the automatic ads because that was annoying me a lot. What the fuck is that? Does that mean? Doesn't matter. Yeah, so that was kind of annoying me, so I returned to, you know, one ad at the beginning and then one ad whenever I take a break. Because, yeah, it's just not worth it to, like, constantly have interruptions. I don't like that. I do not like that at all. Anyways, so... now for the main story of the day. Or have I got anything else? Oh yeah, right. I wanted to also open that. Wait, is everything YouTube stream working? Yes, YouTube chat not working, but that's normal. All right, I also need to start that thing there. Yeah. Anyways, let me open this. All right, so now main story. Why do I write I swear? So why is my title I swear this flat is cursed? Quite simple. Because I don't know. It just feels like, okay, the correlation isn't necessarily flat. I just had a lot of bad luck recently, and you know, sometimes it has been connected to the flat. Like last time, like recently, we, you know, had to change internet providers, and you know, a bunch of stuff happened that just kept delaying when we had internet. And like, so for more than a week, I didn't have any internet here. So I had to use my phone's mobile hotspot thingy. But like, we didn't have a proper Wi-Fi here. And then once we had the Wi-Fi, then it was really shit. And then I had to do a bunch of other stuff for like a week with like multiple things going wrong again until we finally arrived at a situation where the Wi-Fi works properly. Yeah, but like that was one of the things. Yeah. And now we've had a new thing that is just like, how does this even happen? Let me just start from the beginning on this story. Let me just start from the very beginning. So, yesterday, I woke up quite late. And like, when I say quite late, I don't mean normal time for me, but that is quite late for normal people. I mean quite late in my terms. I woke up at like 4 p.m. because, you know, the night before I was like editing stuff until 7 a.m. and more importantly, procrastinating and like scrolling social media, but like also editing. And so, you know, was just like really tired, and like even when I woke up, I was like, you know, wake up, it's 2 p.m. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get up in a second, and then close my eyes. Oh, it's 4 p.m. Whoops. Yeah. Anyways, so yesterday, 4 p.m., I finally get out of bed. And what did I want to do first thing in the day? I wanted to take a shower. So I go to the shower and, you know, turn the handle all the way to the hot side and wait for it to get warm. And like just like reach in with my hand to like see, is it getting warmer? Is it getting warmer? Somehow it's getting colder. And then I was standing there for like a minute waiting and was like, it's not getting warm. It's bad. So I, got dressed again and got to our heater, and I noticed that our gas heater had some error code on it. And I remembered, like, a month back or so, there was already something with the gas heater, but like it was a case of a very simple thing to do. But yeah, so like basically I texted my flatmate, because like at the moment I was the only one here. So I texted my flatmate and was like, hey, is this error code the same as it was last time when you did that quick fix? That, was just like one button press, or like do a little thing and then it works again. And I like texted him, hey, is that the same thing? And he was like, I don't remember if it was exactly the same thing, but just try to fix anyways. And then I tried to fix. And then it still didn't work. Like basically when I then restarted the thing, I could hear that the electric heater, tried everything. Like it sounded very normal, except that then you didn't hear, like you could hear the like ignition thingy, but then no like flame. So you could hear that it tried to ignite, but it didn't work. And at that point I was like, hold on, that's weird. And then I tried the gas stove next to it and tried to turn that on, and there was no gas coming out of the gas stove. So I was like, that's bad, because that means we don't have any gas in the entire flat. I was like, okay, I don't know how things work in general, so I wasn't sure whether our gas heater could be the reason that the gas stove doesn't have any gas, like if it's connected in serial, because it's like basically next to each other. But I felt like that would be a very weird way to do that, so I don't assume that that's a common thing to do. And so yeah, basically I figured out, okay, we don't have any gas in this flat. And so I texted my roommate again and was like, hey, it seems like we don't have any gas. Anything you know about that? Or like, could you contact our gas provider? Because the gas contract is running in his name, but also at the same time, he is about to move out. And so basically you can't take the contract from one person and transfer it to another person. So basically what we have to do is like, he cancels the contract and then whoever takes over then has to make a new contract. And so like he already canceled it, but it's still running for like a month. But like in a month it should like stop, and then in the meantime someone needs to make a new contract. Yeah. And so I told him, hey, can you like call the gas provider if they know if anything's going on? And then he did, because at that point it was like a bit after 5 p.m. on a Friday, so we were like, oh, this might be a problem, because usual office times are like, 5 p.m. After 5 p.m. on a Friday, chances are you can't reach anyone. But we figured out that they had like office hours until 6 p.m. on a Friday, which was very nice, because that means he was able to reach someone. And he called them and they said, nope, everything okay from our side. Contract still running for a month. Everything should be working. And then we were like, okay, that's weird. And he was also like, okay, I guess I'll call like a handyman to like check that out, whatever's going on. But like, of course, because it was Friday after 5 p.m., chances are it's gonna be hard to find someone who's got time to do that, or like who's willing to do that. And organizing all of that, terrible. And in the meantime, I was like, okay, I will go, and because like that, the hotline he called was like the normal office hotline, and I was like, okay, I'll call the like not emergency service, but like gas is out service thingy, that number. And I called them and connected to me, and then there's explained what's going on. and then got transferred to someone else and explained to them again the same thing. And they said, okay, let me get your contact info. I will have to call around and then I'll call you back. And I was like, okay, sounds good. Gave him everything I knew and went on with my day. But then, of course, I couldn't like cook anything. So I was kind of procrastinating that, hoping that anytime now the gas could come back on and I can, live normally. I couldn't take a shower because the water's fucking freezing. Like literally like ice cold. I don't know how in the summer water can be this cold when just coming out of the fucking tap. No clue. Anyways. And yeah, in the meantime, I was also, that even was happened before the call, but I forgot to mention it on the call. What I did was I went to like ask the neighbors if they have any gas, or if that's like the entire house is fucked, or if it's just me. And so like I asked my neighbor, and if I say I asked my neighbor, so just to give you the right picture, I'm in Vienna. I am not small town. Everybody knows everybody in the town. I am in Vienna. You don't know who your neighbor is. You might have seen them once, but you have no clue. If you gave me like a lineup of like random people and my neighbors, I could not pick out a single person. Maybe if they were there with their dog, because I know that one of our neighbors has a dog. Maybe then I could have guessed that it might be them. But I have no clue who any of our neighbors are. I have never like interacted with any of our neighbors more than saying hi in the hallway. So, social interaction. Yeah, but basically I went to our next door neighbor, rang the bell, and at first they didn't like want to open up and just like talked through the door. And I was like, hey, I'm your next door neighbor. Does the gas also not work for you? And then they opened up the door and were like, oh, it does work for me. And then like even showed me like they were cooking at the time. And yeah, worked perfectly fine. And then I was like, that's weird. Thank you for showing me. And went back to my flat. And so I was like, okay, I guess I can't do anything more than waiting for the guy to call me back. And so then in the meantime, I went grocery shopping. And then, time went by. And after like 2 hours or so after I called them, I was like, okay, it's Friday evening by now. Let me just call them again to like check what's going on, if they have any updates in the meantime, because I feel like that thing should be resolved quickly. Because I don't have any gas. I can't take a shower. I can't cook. Everything's cold. Like, okay, that happening in the summer is like not as terrible as it would be if it was like December or some shit. But still, not having any warm water or gas to cook when you have a gas stove is really bad. And so I called them again and was like, hey, I called 2 hours ago. Guy said he would call me back. Do you have any updates from them by now? And he said, oh, it's weird. They didn't call you back? Okay, anyways. Then like went through the whole thing again. And I even at that point remembered that I should tell them, oh yeah, our neighbors do have gas. It's just our flat that's dry. And, call them. And then, he was calling around and then got back to me like within like 2 minutes or something and said, oh, you need to call other provider that we are apparently like somehow connected with, because that's not our job. And I was like, cool. Thanks for telling me. Wish the other guy would have told me that 2 hours ago when there was still office hours. But like, other provider also had like 24/7 service. So, had to call them on that number anyways. And then I called them there, and they looked up some stuff, and were like, oh yeah, it says here that, you know, we turned off your gas as planned. Like it says we were contracted to like turn off your gas by your provider. And I was like, that is wrong. We still have a contract for a month. That should not have turned off. That should not have been turned off. And they were like, that sucks. We are the 24/7 emergency service. We can't do anything about that. You will have to call back on Monday. So yeah, I won't have any gas until Monday, at least. Assuming that they can fix it immediately on Monday. I won't get my hopes up. So basically what happened is, because my flatmate, canceled his gas contract, but like that's running out with, not for another month. Apparently something got lost along the way, because the provider that he's got the contract of told him, oh yeah, that's still active. It's still running until when it should be running out. And they were even like looking it up, and it said active. And meanwhile, the like hardware people were apparently told by our provider to turn it off. So yeah, that's the situation. Isn't that fun? How does shit like this keep happening? Yeah, so of course, because there was that 2-hour period where I was waiting for a call, if the first guy would have immediately told me, we are not, that's not us, call the other person, and I would have then gone and called the other person and gotten that information, I could have gone back to provider office hours regular number and told them about that and maybe get it fixed before the weekend. Chances are they wouldn't have gotten it fixed, but like at least they would have known it and like gotten it fixed first thing. I don't know, but like there would have been a possibility there if the first person would have told me, not our job, call the other person. And now I'm just sitting here, nothing I can do. GG. Yeah, I just hope they can get that shit back up on Monday. Because showering with ice cold water is not very pleasant, let me tell you that. Like I did that yesterday, very quickly. Not pleasant. Today I just, only washed my hair because it was getting greasy. And yeah, it felt like my entire head was freezing. Like, I don't know how our water is so cold. It is fucking end of July. It's warm outside. Usually when it's warm outside, that warmth goes into the water that's coming out of the tap. Or like, well, out of the tap. Somehow, usually that heats it up a little bit. How is our water ice cold? I don't understand. It's like it's going through a freezer. Yeah. So that's not pleasant. Also, I can't cook. I just have to like make do with what I can make in a microwave or an air fryer or like a water kettle. I do have a kettle. I've been considering, boiling water in the kettle and then somehow using that to wash, but then, how do you get the temperature right between? It will be tricky, so I don't know. Let's see how desperate I get, how long the gas is off. Yeah, ramen for the win. I guess that is an option. Yeah, today I made like instant mashed potato thingy, because that means I can just like take the kettle for cooked water, mix in some like milk thingy, and then just stir it, and then like I made some tofu in the air fryer. And yeah, GG. Don't know what I'll make tomorrow. Do I have anything here that I can make easily? Like originally I planned, oh, I guess I can just make wraps with like, I don't know, some beans, some frozen veggies, and some rice. And then I realized I don't have a rice cooker, and my stove doesn't have any gas. So of the two options how you can make rice, I can't do either. So I guess that's out. Yeah, I don't know. I've got a couple of instant meal thingies here, so I guess I'll have to make do with one of those. Or I just eat a kilogram of fries. That always is an option. Yeah, that I guess that will have to do. Yeah. So that's painful. How does this shit keep happening here? Like, first, the internet, if we only consider things that are related to that, if we don't even consider like the health issues I've had that were also like shortly after I moved in here, if we only consider things that happened to the flat itself, how does it happen that we just don't have any internet for a while because of stupid issues, and then our gas just gets turned off by our provider that still has an active contract? Welcome in, Cyrus. And oh yeah, also welcome in, Habe. Yeah, I don't know. Ghost shit keeps happening here. But also, it feels like that would be a major like breach of contract, wouldn't it be? Like I don't know what our contract looks like, because it's like running in the name of like one of my flatmates. But it feels like that would be a major breach of contract if you just turn off my gas for no reason. Like, I guess there might be things in the contract that say, oh, by the way, if you're canceling the contract, we might turn it off earlier than what the rest of the contract can say. I don't know, but it's weird. Also, I was thinking like, this will be weird, because now I have to deal with telling those guys, hey, can you turn on my gas again for the next 2 weeks or something until the contract actually runs out? Because currently they are still our provider, and afterwards I will need a new provider. And if I don't choose them, which, you know, now I've got an argument to not choose them, that will be awkward, because then they will again send, I don't know how that works actually. Like, if they are like, okay, we don't provide gas anymore, and they tell the hardware providers, oh, turn off their gas, and then another thingy says, oh, turn on their gas, if that just cancels out at the hardware provider, or if then they go and like turn it off and then turn it on again, or whatever. Also, if I make a new contract with a different provider while the other one is still running, will it be double billed? I don't know how anything works. It's probably not a good idea to have two of them running at once. So I'm kinda screwed either way. I don't know. I don't like the situation. But yeah, that's how my weekend has been going so far. Woke up yesterday, noticed that we didn't have any gas. Cut myself a little bit while trying to fix the gas heater that didn't have a problem. And now we're here. Still not having any gas. Yeah. That's pretty much it. Oh yeah, also I released like 5 shorts within a 24-hour window. Wait, how many was it actually? Oh god, flashbang. That was this one. Okay, a little bit more than 24-hour window, but so hold on. On the second channel, I did 2 League of Legends ones. And then on the first channel, I did this one, this one, this one, and this one. So 6 shorts within a little more than 24 hours. There's reasons for that. But yeah. Also, something that I don't quite understand. Whenever you upload a short, like, let me go here. Oh god, it's such a flashbang. I hate it. Like, whenever you upload a short, let me scroll down a little bit. The way that all of these websites function is they, you know, send out your short to like a sample size of people to like check, okay, is your short good? Who is interested in your short? And stuff like that. But basically they send it out to test. You know, they take a sample, show them your video, and then depending on who of that sample likes it, they will then show it to other people or not. And usually that sample is like around 200-300 people or something, I've noticed with most video game clips. Like, if you see here, yeah, that's roughly the sample time. Not sample time. Like a sample amount. Yeah. And you know, then you might have shorts that are better, or you know, a lot of shorts that just like get stuck with the sample and then don't get shown to anybody else. And also, a lot of the time it feels like that has nothing to do with like count. Like, this one has 18 likes, not even 500 views, 4 likes, also almost the same amount of views. Meanwhile, can I 91 likes, I don't know, 44 likes, 3 comments, 500 views. Yeah, I don't understand how algorithms work. They're weird. And yeah, that one was almost the thing that pissed me off the most. I released one League of Legends short and it's, you know, instantly became my most viewed video on TikTok by a factor of like 3. I think 30 something K was my previous best. Wait, it was a... Where is it? Fearless Landing here, 39K. And this one almost has 100K now. No clue. But the reason I'm mentioning that is... Okay, that one is... Wait, that one was just uploaded. Then this one... Yeah, got a smaller sample than usual. Yeah, sometimes it just doesn't make sense. Like, it's the same thing on YouTube. It's also like, it feels like either somewhere between 300 and 1K is like the sample size that they usually show it to. And this one got shown to 0 people. How does YouTube know whether or not this is a good video when they have shown it to literally 0 people? I don't think they do. I don't know what made that happen. Yeah, I don't know. But like, it's one of the ad videos where that are like, as I've been saying in the last stream where we played the games, there's like, you know, websites where streamers can get keys for games for free, and then if they make short form content and it gets over 1K views, or like you get money per 1K views, so you need a total of 1K views. And unfortunately that okay, the funny thing is, Wednesday we played 2 different indie games, both of which we got from that website. And, you know, the thing is, one of them still had the campaign active, where, you know, you upload shorts and you could get money. The other one already was like inactive, so it was like, okay, you can still upload a short so that you get back a credit for key, because you've got credits that you can use to get keys. When you run out of credits, you can't get any keys anymore. You need to do some stuff to like then get credits back. But basically, you know, when you upload a short for that you got a key for, then you get a credit back. And so I was able to do that for one of the games, and for the other game I also uploaded a short and so also got a credit back. But the other one of them still had the potential that I could get paid for it. The other one didn't. Guess which one crossed 1K views? Obviously, it was the one where I don't get any money. That said, that campaign isn't over yet, and we are only like 80 views off. We are at 960 views over the 2 videos on 3 different platforms combined. 916 out of 1K. So go and watch that video on all of the platforms. Those 2 videos on all of the platforms. Yeah. And the other one just had like over 1K views on just YouTube. Of course. The irony is not lost on me. Is that irony or is that just like, I don't know. There's this meme that the song Ironic, that is like, you know, the entire lyrics are about things that are ironic, except that the ironic thing is that nothing in the song is actually ironic. All of them are just like things where the word ironic gets misused. Wait, let me for the song in the queue. Ironic by Alanis Morissette. Like, as far as I'm aware, like it's like an entire song that's about the concept of things that are ironic, and like, so just like all of the lyrics are examples of things that are ironic, and none of them actually are ironic. All of them are just like things that you would misuse the word ironic for, which is ironic. It's like rain on your wedding day. It's a free ride when you already paid. Yeah, none of those things actually are ironic. Which makes the song pretty ironic. Yeah. Anyways. Where was I? Yeah. So that's pretty much it for the story time. But yeah. It is kind of ironic though that my stream title on Monday was the week can only get better if you started off terribly. That I think that is actually ironic. Like, my stream title on Monday was, if you start your week off terrible, then it can only get better. And I used it on a Monday that was honestly not bad. And then the rest of the week kind of took it. Well, it didn't take a nose stuff. It was not that bad, except for the fact that I don't have any gas currently. So like, yesterday was quite shit. But yeah. That is ironic. Anyways. That was the wrong button. What I wanted to do. So, as I've teased before, like a minute ago, Minesweeper Online. I'm 4 LP of Grandmaster. So we will try to get there. So let me change the title. 4 points of like Grandmaster in 4 points. And Minesweeper Online as the game. Doom. And updated that. And let me also edit here. Minesweeper. Where the thing here? Minesweeper. So, and we'll just play a bunch of Minesweeper and hope to get there. We've got like 2.5 hours. As I said, today I can't like do extremely long. So let's see. If I win the first game, then we are immediately Grandmaster. And then I will keep it at that to like not ruin it. Like I will continue playing at some point because like I've also got like quests to play PvP. But I'll just leave it there for the rest of the stream. So I can say that I'm a Grandmaster Minesweeper player because that is the weirdest flex that I've ever qualified for in my life, if I make it. Anyways, find an opponent. Okay, let's go. We need one more win than defeat. If we win right now, then that's done. Shit. I think I'm slightly behind. Shit, now I'm definitely behind. Because I fucked it up. Wow, wow, wow. So, okay. Come on. I don't think I will win this one. Shit. I think I had to guess there, right? I didn't have to guess there. I just knew that that was a bomb. And I lost. GG. Okay. That was the warm-up game. That said, we are now 2 games off of Grandmaster. I hope we don't lose too many points. 4 points, that's pretty average. Especially considering that they are flat. There's like 100-point difference between us. Duration. So, shit. That's 3 flags around the 2. That's not how counting works. That's not correct. So think I'm losing again. Have I lost already? Don't tell me if it's so. Oh, that was a close one. No way there's competitive Minesweeper. Yeah, Minesweeper Online. PvP Minesweeper with ranked. Okay. Back to 596. And I got +4 here. Okay, I also had more LP. Every day we stray further from God. What do you mean? Competitive Minesweeper is amazing. Oh shit, isn't that the person that I just lost to? Okay, it was a close game though. Well, it wasn't that close. Not as close as the one that I just won. But it felt winnable. It wasn't one where I got completely curb stomped. Ah, shit. No! I knew that was a bomb. Shit. Well, I'm just making so many mistakes today. Did I already lose? I don't see any movement in the corner of my eye. Yep, I already lost. Whoops. Okay, only lost 3 LP this time. Ah. Okay, new opponent. Grandmaster 700 LP, so that one is like significantly above me. Like more than 100 LP. So in theory, if I beat them, I get more than 4 LP. That said, it will be hard to beat them, theoretically. Always depends on like how well the rank system is implemented and everything. Like, and like, you know, hidden MMR and stuff. But in a perfect world, it will be hard to beat them, and they should give me a lot of points. That's it. I already saw in the corner of my eye that they blew up once, and I also see in the corner of my eye that they're ahead anyways. So that's a problem. And they blew up again. Your love is a lie, and wanna hate, so I keep you alive. They blew up again. They've blown up 3 times. No way that I lose this. They have blown up 3 times in a situation where they didn't have to guess a single time. I think. Fuck. Shit. Come on. No, Am I now in guessing prison? No, I'm not. Easy! Ah, +7. I think I need 8. Wait, did I need 7? Wait, I needed 7. Hold on, was that it? Yes! Grandmaster! On the dot! By beating a 700 LP Grandmaster. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. There we go. Easy. Did I finish the game? Does it show me? No. Yeah. 95 seconds is quite a lot. Imagine being a Grand Sweeper. I am the greatest sweeper ever. Greatest sweeper known to humankind. And with that I mean I'm rank 784 out of 32. So I'm like top 2%, not even top 1%, isn't it? Top 2.4%. yeah, the ranked system isn't like ideal. Like there's like 800 Grandmaster players. 800 people in the top spot. That's quite a lot. Compared to League of Legends, where there's like 100 challengers or something in all of Europe West, while having millions of players. Yeah. Doesn't matter. We take that. I'm Grandmaster. I'm a Grandmaster Minesweeper player now. We take that. Apparently, the first thing that I did after becoming Grand Sweeper in Mine Master. Okay. Apparently, the first thing I did when becoming Grandmaster in Minesweeper is forget how to drink. Because that went into the wrong pipe. I guess I just had like limited amount of like skill points, and I've used up the skill point for drinking for becoming better at Minesweeper. I guess that's what happened here. I kind of wasted that one for the wrong thing. Six times he blew up? I only blew up once, didn't I? And still, it was close. Well, I don't know how close it was in the end. But it felt really close. Like, I didn't check how close it was. Anyway, so that's all I had planned for the stream. So let's just do quests here. So this one runs out tomorrow at 7. It's just like win one of these. And I think compared to the other ones that are like win on a get the gigantic field, this one is way more doable. Like I've had a couple that I was literally trying for days and it just didn't work because it's so RNG. But this one felt doable if I don't misclick. If I don't just misclick for no reason. That would be doable. So. Oh yeah, another random thing. So the reason I can't stream all too long today is because me and a friend... Hold up. Is because me and a friend are taking part in Project Zomboid thingy. That's some event by some streamer that I've never heard of. And the funny thing about that is that I have no idea about Project Zomboid. Like, I've played it once, very briefly, alone. I have hidden in a house for a couple of days, then went outside, attracted a million zombies, accidentally dropped my pistol, and died. That's all my Project Zomboid experience. And now I will take part in some event where presumably everybody knows how Project Zomboid works, except for me. And also presumably everybody knows the streamer who's making the event, except for me. Because, like, yeah, basically a friend of mine was like, hey, wanna take part in this Project Zomboid thingy? And I was like, I'm terrible, but I'll give it a go. So that's what I'll do with the rest of my evening today. I have no idea if the event is gonna be streamed or anything. I won't be streaming it. Yeah, but also I have no idea what the event is like. Apparently it's like everybody spawns in the mall or something, and just like if you die you're out or whatever. No clue how any of that works. Good soundbite story. It genuinely was like that. I, found a couple of cool things, hid in a house somewhere, and then was like, okay, let me go loot some more stuff. And, just looted a couple of houses around me. And then I don't know what I did to attract a million zombies, but like I was being chased by a lot of zombies. But that was okay because I had I think I had 2 pistols, but only ammo that fit into one of them. And then I was kind of like kiting them, like shooting zombies behind and like running away from them, and also like looting dead bodies for more ammo because I was afraid that I might run out soon. And in the process of that, I accidentally dropped a pistol that had ammo. I don't remember how I managed to do that. Either it was just purely a misclick, or I wanted to drop the other pistol and chose the wrong one. But I think it was just purely a misclick. I even did that on stream. I don't think the VOD is on YouTube though. I might need to upload that at some point. Because it was one of those streams where I was visiting my mom, so I couldn't multi-stream because her internet is not good enough for that. Yeah. But that's literally how that went. I played like single player, and yeah, that was hard enough. Gonna stumble again next week because Stable 42 comes out on Wednesday. Oh, that's cool. Got 700 hours in. I've got, hold on, 2.3 hours. Yeah. Also, wait, when was that? When did I last play? Last played today. That is a lie. I last installed it today. Why does it think that I played today? I don't know. But yeah, it's just another one of those PvP zombie survival games. I've played plenty of those to know how to deal with anything, except that it's top down and not a FPV thing, not a first person shooter. So like none of my skills actually transfer to the game because it's like very unique actually. It'll be fine. Why did I open that? I don't know. I'll be fine. I'll just get my friend to coach me through it. And then, I mean, I literally told them that will be the most fun 1.5 minutes of my life. Yeah, I fully expect to like immediately die and then just watch my friend play. And that is okay. I also forgot, I think the YouTuber slash streamer slash whatever, I don't know them, was called General Sam, if that rings a bell for anybody. I think that's what I've been told. As I said, no clue about the YouTuber, streamer, what, I think YouTuber. I'm not sure though. Yeah. And they've got some event on today. And are presumably American because the time was in American time and it's gonna start at midnight. Yeah. Which is totally fine for me. perfectly in the comfort zone. And like, you know, when the friend of mine asked me first if I want to take part in that on Saturday, I was like, ah, shit, Saturday I'm usually streaming, but like, you know, I'll cancel stream for that. And then they sent me when it starts, and I was like, ah, perfect, I can stream before that. Don't even need to cancel stream for that. And now we're sitting here playing Minesweeper. Mm-hmm. Also, while we've got a Zomboid expert here, do you have any tips for me? What are the do's and don'ts? I've heard pressing what was it, G is a very powerful button that you should press at pretty much every opportunity. Or was it F? I don't know. The button for the antidote if you get bitten by a zombie, as the tutorial puts it, which is especially a good button to press while you're in a car. Yeah, was that G that I remember? Did I remember that correctly? I'll just run up to random people and press that button and then book it. And probably get shot. Not even sure, in months? Okay. I'll need to figure it out. Sometimes I... So like Idal... So what are they Okay. The expectation for this event is basically just I'll go in, I'll immediately die, and then just watch my friend play. So how do I beat those expectations? What could I do? I could either do surprisingly well, which is unlikely, or I could do something really stupid, really funny. Like find a car and accidentally hit myself with it. I don't know if you can do that in Zomboid. I know that I've done that a lot of times in other games, like in PUBG. That's the classic. Where you just get out of the car while it's still... Oh, for fuck's sake, well, why do I do that? I almost was done. Like in PUBG, that was a classic, that you just got out of the car while it's still rolling and you know, hit yourself with a car. I don't know, something along those lines would be funny. Finding a working car is already lucky most of the times. Yeah, I know, I've heard. Did I have a working car that one time I played Zomboid? I might have, but that might have been a different character. It wasn't the same character that I did the thing where I dropped my pistol accidentally, I think. I think I've done 2 characters within those 2 hours after playing the tutorial. So you can see how well that went. But I think I had a car at some point. I'm not entirely sure though. I guess the plan is just get insanely lucky to find insane gear and then die in the stupidest way possible with it. That's the plan, I think. Can't stay. Alright. Mm-hmm. That said, Zomboid is like one of those weird games that it's like it has like a very specific niche. So like you barely hear about it if you aren't a Zomboid player, chances are you don't hear about it like ever. But it's still like surprisingly long living as a game with like an active community. It's kind of like, oh fuck, I just had an example and I forgot it again. It's kind of like, I wanted to say Rust, but you do hear about Rust every now and then. Shit, which game was I thinking of? Dead by Daylight. That said, Dead by Daylight feels like it's gotten a little bit of a resurgence in the last like 2 years or something. But like, basically, Dead by Daylight was huge when it came out for like a year or something, and then you just didn't really hear anything about it. And then like last year or something, I don't know, I kept hearing about Dead by Daylight from like multiple different sources, and like now, you know, I constantly see clips of it on social media. So I feel like it's gotten a little bit of a resurgence there. Probably also helps that they have like collabs with literally everyone. They are like the Fortnite of horror games. Usually just try to find a place with not many zombies or get rid of the few that I can deal with. Otherwise, it's run, hide, and hope with broken line sight of. It's run, hide, and hope with broken line sight. The zombies lose you. Usually forest works for that. Ah, yeah, that's cool. Okay, wait, give me a sec. So, just needed to grab a tissue real quick. Yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Dead by Daylight kind of feels like the Fortnite of horror games, as in they have collabs with literally everyone. They have like collabs with all of the with all of the big horror movies. It feels like I think recently they released Jason as a Killer from Friday the 13th, if I'm not mistaken. I am really bad with like knowing horror movies. Like genuinely, my knowledge about horror movies is almost embarrassing, considering that I quite like the genre, but I don't know any movies. Yeah, and then also recently they had a collab with the band Ice and Kills, which I really like, and like the song is also a certified banger. So I guess that definitely helped with the, you know, resurgence, or like generally, you know, staying relevant. Also, another game that kind of came out of nowhere for me was Five Nights at Freddy's. Basically, same thing as for Dead by Daylight. Like, for me, Five Nights at Freddy's is some €2 game that you played 10 years ago for an hour, and then, you know, that was it. Was a fun game for an hour, and then, you know, you kind of seen it all. So it was kind of weird for me how big it apparently is now. That there's like, you know, that there's not just like Five Nights at Freddy's 2, but there's now like 5 parts or whatever. And also a movie, and I don't know what else. But like at every con you are now, and everything where there's cosplayers, there's so many Five Nights at Freddy's cosplays. When did that happen? Because that kind of came out of nowhere. Like, I didn't even know that there was a niche community for that. I just at some point heard, oh, there's a Five Nights at Freddy's movie coming out, and I was like, what the fuck? Why? How? Who asked for this? And apparently, a lot of people. And all the fan games, yeah. I barely know the tip of the iceberg there. Like what? How, where did all of this come from? That completely went past me. Which is also funny. I don't remember if that's how I came into this topic with Five Nights at Freddy, or if that was just another example. Yeah, so like that Five Nights at Freddy's is like another of those games that completely went past me, that they still are like alive and well. And the funny thing is that they also have a collab with Dead by Daylight. So like that's both of the games that kind of went past me that they're still alive in one. Because I think there's like killers. I don't know if that's like new killers or if just like skins for killers. I'm confused with Dead by Daylight as a whole. Like it never made sense even back when it came out, and I like actively, well, I never really played it long, but like I somewhat actively played it at the beginning when it came out, and there were like 3 killers. There was like Machete Guy, there was Ghost, and then there was Chainsaw Guy. And like I think, was there 1 or 2 maps? I don't remember. Shit. And like even back then I was confused, like in total, like with the whole item system. What do you mean there's items that are single use? Like unlockable items with like progression and everything, but everything is like single use. You use it once in one game and then it's gone. That's weird to me, that concept. I know that like extraction shooters and stuff like that also operate like that nowadays. But I feel like that was new back then. Is it? Or is it just that none of the games I played were like that? But like the concept of unlockables that are like consumable and not in the sense of consumable as in you can use them in a game, but like as in you use them in a game and they're gone. Shit. I should not play left-handed, because then I guess my muscle memory is the wrong way around. That would be a fun challenge, though. Not now, though. Not on such a gigantic field that I misclick often enough playing it normally. Yeah. I sometimes wonder, like, which other games am I missing that, you know, that I've checked out once 10 years ago and that are still going? I think PUBG is still going, somewhat. Like, they still have like some niche community. In Fortnite as well. Like, for me, PUBG kinda disappeared when Fortnite came along. Like, not immediately, but it kinda like lost quite some of its player base to Fortnite, and then just like, I don't know, slowly went the way of the dodo, so to say. But I think it's still very much alive and well. Mm-hmm. That said, it's also kinda surprising how long the big games are lasting nowadays. Like fucking World of Warcraft. When was that shit released? I think no other game that is as old as World of Warcraft is still at a size as big as World of Warcraft. Like, do you know any games that are like as old as World of Warcraft that are still around to a significant extent? The only thing that I'm kind of thinking of right now might be RuneScape, but I have no idea what the timeline of RuneScape is. Like, I do think that that still has quite a player base. Like both RuneScape and old school RuneScape, and I've never played RuneScape, full disclosure. I have no clue what is like different, what I guess making old school RuneScape stand out. I assume it's like World of Warcraft Retail and World of Warcraft Classic, but I have no idea. Not a clue. I would assume so as well. Yeah. Wait. Well, we have Google. Why am I not like looking stuff up? RuneScape release date. 4th of January 2001. That is an old game. That game is older than me. Okay, I think it beats World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft. 2004. Okay. Okay, so I guess RuneScape kind of takes a cake there. That shit's been around for 25 years. I guess the MMO genre as a whole kind of makes sense. That lasts longer than like, you know, single player games. Okay, never mind. I take everything back. I take everything back in this discussion. Mario 64. Games that are being actively speedrun. Those still very much are relevant. I have to guess here. Yeah, like when did Mario 64? 64? In 1996. And I'm sure that's not even the oldest Mario. I mean, yeah, the first Mario is probably still being... What am I even saying? Probably. The first Mario is still being speedrun. Yeah, so that kind of destroyed all of the talking points I was thinking of when I started this topic. Because I was like, oh yeah, it's weird how all of these games last so long compared to like how long games would usually last. But nope, it turns out games always lasted super long. Like, you know, the best of the best, I guess. Shit. So... But yeah, on that note, League of Legends Classic is coming out next Wednesday, and we will be playing that. I know I'm trying to shield stream and main channel from League of Legends as much as I can, but it's breaching again. It's happening. I can't not play that. All of the stupid troll builds from 10 years ago are suddenly back. Well, not all of them. A few of them. A very limited few. Because, like, okay, it's... In general, League of Legends Classic is kind of weird. As in... They don't... They didn't just bring back, like, one specific patch from the past. They kind of mixed together seasons 1, 2, and 3. And then they sprinkled in trinkets from season 4 as well. Which makes the whole thing kind of weird. And also they left out quite a few things that, you know, are older than things that are in there. Like, I think LeBlanc LeBlanc. I cannot type. Release date. LeBlanc was November 2010. So that's like season 1 or something. That's like very early on. And LeBlanc is not in League of Legends Classic. She's like one of the earliest champions, not in League of Legends Classic. While other champions that are way newer than that are in there. Actually, I don't know if any of them are newer than that. Ezreal release date. Hello? March 2010. Never mind. LOL Classic champions. Hold on. List of champions. Kassadin, Jax. I think Jax is newer than that. Let's say released it. Oh, 2009. Never mind. Who here is newer? Like, I obviously don't remember the release of any of these. I started in like season 4. I think Ahri was one of the original 20 or whatever. Original 40 something champions. Release date 2011. Oh, okay. So she came after LeBlanc. Yet she is in here and LeBlanc is not in here yet. Like there's some champions that they want to, put in later into the game. But like, why is LeBlanc not in there? I wanted to play the old LeBlanc. Well, the old LeBlanc was the same as the new LeBlanc pretty much. But I wanted to play LeBlanc with the old items. Yeah. We will see what we'll do, but it will be stupid. That much I can guarantee. Because I will not, look up what the meta will be with the old items and whatever. I will just play the old stupid troll builds that I used to love. That they all patched out. Yeah, I'll make that a whole thing. I will think of ways to make that interesting. So board feels a little cursed also. Okay, never mind. Now we can continue on. Like we had to guess there a little bit, and it felt like any moment I'll have to guess again, but I think now we are clear for a bit. Are we? Yeah, seems like we're clear for now. Oh, actually that one is. Easy. So, where can we continue? Here. Can we continue beyond that? Yes. So, in general, I like with such big boards in normal mode, so not non-guessing mode, to like section the board into smaller parts so that if we somewhere run into 50-50 situations, I get them, I guess them as early as possible so I don't waste time on like solving the entire board and then having a 50-50 at the end. So I would like to kind of go down here and solve this, but at the moment I can't. Like this is the closest I can go downwards there. I can't really continue here. So. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, another random thing that I saw on the internet recently. You know how the Odyssey movie came out, the new Nolan movie? So it kind of went past me a little bit, but I do quite like Nolan's movies usually, so I am still considering like going to watch it, but I don't know if I will watch it in cinema. Um but the thing is, it's the first time that I ever was thinking about, oh, which cinema will I go to watch that? Like if I want to watch that, where will I watch that? Because usually I'm just like, okay, where are they showing it in English? Because I prefer watching, you know, movies that are originally in English. I want to watch them in English and not in the German dub. And like usually the standard is for cinemas to show the German dub. So usually I'll just go. Okay, sometimes I'll even watch the German dub, like depending on what my friends want to see. But like in general, if I get to pick, I would just like Google whichever movie shows it in the original version. But in the case of the Odyssey, I was even, considering, okay, which movie do I watch it in, considering the aspect ratio, because they filmed it in like some super hyper specific analog format that has like the weirdest aspect ratio ever. And apparently there's 40 cinemas in the world that can show a film the way it is meant to be shown. Like in analog and in that aspect ratio. And oh shit. Do I need to guess here? I think I do. There's one here. There's one here. I think we're good here. Like that was a guess, but I think I got lucky with the guess and then I just messed it up. That was almost cleared again. Fuck. Yeah. So rip. I don't want to listen to that either. Yeah, but like with Odyssey, because they filmed it on, I think it's called like 50 millimeter film, whatever. And that is like a super weird aspect ratio where, it's not like 16:9, but like 1 to 1.4 or something like that. So it's almost like square. And most cinemas don't have screens like that. And even more so, most cinemas don't have like analog projectors. So that's like a double whammy. That like the movie is ideally shown in analog and in a weird aspect ratio. And so it's like, okay, I guess I can go and watch it in a normal cinema, but then I'm like missing half of the movie because they have to like cut it into the right aspect ratio. And also I'm watching it in digital, but I'm not a film nerd in general, so like I don't care about it being digital rather than analog. But I do kind of care about them having to cut like half of the screen to like fit it onto the screen. Like if you watch it in a different aspect ratio, they have to cut off the top and bottom to fit the thing. So like you're kind of missing parts from the original. And that's kind of weird. And then I also like I'm sure there's like databases for this, but I just like quickly looked if when I go to book the movie, it gives me information on like which format it, or like what the aspect ratio is, and basically telling me where do I lose the least of the original information is kind of what I wanted to figure out. But I honestly, I can't be bothered to like actively compare. And I noticed just how many different standards there are. Like at this point, you can barely call it a standard, because there's like the 50mm analog thingy, which is the special thing about this movie, that it is in that it was filmed entirely in that format. So if you watch it in any other way, you just like lose information. And yeah, then there's IMAX 50mm, which is different than 50mm. I don't remember if that was just like the same but digital, but I think it was literally a different format. I think it's literally not the same format. So like why is it called almost the same? I don't know. It's very confusing. And then like also, as I was saying, there's only like 40 cinemas in the world that can show like the full thing, the movie in like the way it's intended to be. And none of those are in Austria. I think there used to be one in Austria, but that closed down quite a while ago. Like I googled that, and I think the closest. Oh, that was a misclick. I think the closest one that would be able to show it would have been in Prague. Or was it Krakow? I don't know. Different country, not in Austria. I don't care about the movie enough to watch it like that. I don't care about the movie enough to go to a different country to watch it. I'm not even sure if I care about the movie enough to watch it in cinema. Like, it's kind of a thing where if friends of mine want to go watch it, then I'll join them. But if I can't find any friends that want to watch it, then I will probably not watch it. It's not deep enough for me to go there alone. For Iron Lung, I went there alone, and I enjoyed it. For Odyssey, I'm not sure if I'll watch that alone. Like, if it gets to that point. Also, another, okay, getting a little bit sidetracked here, but I've seen like posts online that were like, oh, why would I watch the inferior Odyssey movie? There is already an Odyssey movie that is better than that. They were talking about the SpongeBob movie. Because apparently, if you compare the Odyssey and the SpongeBob movie, then you will notice that, oh wait, actually, SpongeBob is literally the Odyssey. I won't give you the rundown for that, because I don't remember any of it. Just search SpongeBob movie Odyssey on any social media. You'll find plenty of videos. It's hilarious. And honestly, knowing that, I already agree. However good this new Odyssey movie is, it can't be the best Odyssey movie because the SpongeBob movie exists. Unless they have Patrick singing the Goofy Goober song, I don't think they can beat that. I do not think they can beat that in any way. Mm-hmm. Okay. That could be solved by mind count. Let's keep that closed for now. That said, if there's another thing that could be solved by mind count, then it becomes unlikely that it becomes solvable by mind count. Because sometimes there are things where it's like, oh, okay, we've got 2 mines left, and or like here, we could either have at the end 1 mine or no mines left. And so if there's no mines left, then I know that I can open this safely. But yeah, if we have 2 fields like this, and we have 1 mine left, then we don't know under which one it is. If we have 0 mines left, then, you know, we can open both safely. If we have 2 mines left, then both of them are mines. If we have 1 mine left, we are fucked. That's just one of those weird things about Minesweeper. Where sometimes you don't know yet if you're fucked or not. But yeah, Odyssey movie thingy. Like, there is a theater in Vienna that will show it on 50mm film something. Like, they advertised it. Like, no, I think they don't show it in 50mm, but they show it in analog. I don't know, they got like one of the points correct, but the other one, they're worse than other movies, than other cinemas in Vienna. I don't know, it's confusing. So I wouldn't know where to go to get the best experience. That said, the experience is probably virtually the same no matter which cinema you go into. Like, super film nerds probably are like, hell yeah, I've watched it in 50mm analog and it was so much better than watching the same movie on a slightly different screen in digital format where the colors are slightly different. But I don't care, probably. So, like, it's one of those things where I will probably overthink it massively for no reason. But I'm very good at doing that, though. I'm very good at overthinking things that I really don't need to overthink. Like, recently I needed to buy a new water bottle, and then I just compared on Amazon for like an hour or so to save a couple of cents. And then once it got delivered, I realized, wait, I actually do have a water bottle, I didn't need one. I'm very good at overthinking when nothing is at stake. I'm also very good at overthinking in general, even when things are at stake, now that I think about it. Yeah. Probably shouldn't do that as much. So we are like 3/4 down on this one. We still have that one thing that may or may not resolve, which is a little scary. Because imagine we get to the end and then there's just another one of those fields and then it's 50-50 under which one the mine is. Considering we've already been at this for like 7 minutes. With the end slowly being inside, but not quite. That said, I think we might be heading to a guess here. Does any of this resolve? Don't think so. No. Okay, so we've got some guesses that are better than others. Around this 2, there's 1 in 6 fields. 1 mine, 6 fields. This one could be a good guess here, because there's mines here, and then, you know, if that shows 2, then we know that, you know. This one would give me a lot of information. This one, 1 in 3. These are probably safer than this one, I would assume. I think this might be my best guess here. Okay, 4. What does that tell me? Got a 5 here. That needs 3 in these 5 spots. The 4 needs 2 in these 5 spots. This 2 needs 1 in those 4 spots. With this one shared in the thingy, so that one is more likely to be a mine, I think. It has 3 mines in those 5 spots. I think there's like 1 or 2 here, 1 here. Then maybe 1 here, so I think this one is less likely. Okay. We are still very much in guessing territory though. But we are slowly making ground. So 3 out of those 4 are bombs. One of these. Can I get like something that goes like here? I know 1 is in here, 1 is in here. So we've got like vertical limitations. Can I get horizontal limitations? That would be cool, because 3 of those 4 are mines, so only 1 is safe. So if I can eliminate that both of these are mines, then that would be sick. If both of these are mines, those are all safe. This is a mine. This is a mine. Is that legal? Yes, unfortunately. Unfortunately, that is legal. 2 of these are mines, so 2 of these are mines. I think my best guess is just here, because that's a 1 in 3. That one gives me information. Fuck! So we start from new. We start from scratch. Welcoming, Greg. Yeah, that was unlucky. Yeah, unlucky guess, but I didn't lose that much there. For fuck's sake, what are these starting thingies? I could also go for the strategy of opening all 4 corners at the beginning, which I think makes it slightly less likely that we get a 50-50. But that was just a misclick. Well, not a misclick, a mental mistake. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Could I like get any information that makes me able to continue? That would be amazing. Oh, that works. Mm-hmm. At least we don't have to be worried about that mine count thingy in the corner anymore. Because turns out we didn't need to wait for it to resolve because we died somewhere else. But yeah. But yeah, back to the topic of like watching Odyssey in the cinema. I wouldn't even know which one to go to, because basically I've got the options of go to cinema A, which shows the film in like analog, or cinema B, which shows the film in a slightly better but still wrong aspect ratio, or cinema C, which shows it in a different better but still wrong aspect ratio. It's just very confusing. So yeah. So pretty much, unless a friend of mine is like, hey, we're gonna watch the Odyssey, we're going to this cinema, do you want to join? Unless that happens, I'm probably not gonna watch it in the cinema. I also don't understand why the aspect ratio is the way it is. Like, cool, he wants to film everything on film and such, but why not go for like the normal aspect ratio? Like, I get it that it's cool that you can see like more of the people because it's like a taller thingy, like less width, more height. I guess that makes it able to see more of the people talking, but all of the cinemas have like screens that are like this. So I feel like you should consider it. Also, wasn't it like really hard to like film the film like that? Wasn't there a thing that they had to invent a special camera to even be able to film dialogue? You know, the way that they did it, because usually those cameras that allow you to film like that are like super loud. So like you can't do close-up dialogue scenes. Fuck. Because then the camera would just be too loud for, you know, too loud to be able to hear the actor and like what's going on. That said, Nolan movies aren't particularly known for having dialogue that's audible anyway, so they could have just said fuck it. Which honestly, they probably did. They probably made the camera a little bit better, at, you know, a little bit quieter, so that the dialogue is somewhat audible. And then for the rest, they just were like, ah, fuck it, no one can hear the dialogue anyways. Let's make an explosion that's like a million times louder than any dialogue that has ever happened. Like, genuinely, when I watched Tenet in the cinema, I had no clue what was going on, and that was not just because this movie didn't make any sense. Like, it's one of those movies that you need to watch 10 times for it to make sense, somewhat. And then also the dialogue was not audible. IMAX usually have, or at least had, taller screens, much closer to 4:3. Okay. Good point. That said, I think the movie is recorded in like 1 to 1.4 or something. So way weirder than 4:3. I think that was like the thing. This aspect ratio. 1.43 to 1. Like 4:3 is like 1.33 to 1? Wait, what? Yeah. What is 16 to 9? So that sits between. Hold on. That sits between those two. I thought that was... That's IMAX. 1.31 to 1. 4.3 to 1. Yeah, I think that's the one. Like that one I've heard. Odyssey movie. Explore premium format. The fucking website of the movie has like options of how to watch. This is dystopian. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean the website of the movie shows me a comparison of what it looks like at different cinema? Why isn't it just one thing? Why is 70mm like this and IMAX 70mm like this? Why are they both called 70mm? I know that it's like 70mm is like the width or something of the film and like the height is different. Why does it have such a confusing name? But like straight up, if you're watching this versus this, that's different movies. It's quite close to 4:3 compared to other ratios. That's fair, yeah. But like, how do you fuck up a movie so much that you have to have on your website a thing that says, oh, formats? Wait, do they have two things that... Not only do they have an explainer on the formats, they have another page of their actors talking about the formats. On like all of the different formats.
Hi everyone, I'm Anne Hathaway, and I'm here to talk about Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey in IMAX. The Odyssey is the first feature film ever shot entirely with IMAX film cameras, so you'll see every frame in IMAX. The film was shot and designed to be experienced on the biggest screen possible, and IMAX delivers on this. It fills your entire field of vision, immersing you fully for the best cinematic experience. Experience The Odyssey in IMAX.
I'm Lupita Nyong'o.
Okay, but like that was IMAX.
Hey there, I'm Matt Damon.
What's IMAX 70mm then?
And I'm in Christopher Nolan's new film, The Odyssey. This is the first film to be shot entirely with IMAX film cameras, using new IMAX camera technology. Each film frame has 15 perforations, runs horizontally through the projector, making it the largest format available. Every frame was shot in IMAX, and when you're in the theater, you'll feel the full impact of how it was shot. So you'll be on The Odyssey with all of us. Experience The Odyssey in IMAX 70mm.
Okay, but like those are two different things. They both said that's the best way to watch it, and they're different things. Okay, what do you...
I'm Lupita Nyong'o.
Tell me about... Okay, hi Lupita. What do you tell me about 70mm, which is a different thing again?
I'm here to talk about seeing Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey in 70mm film. The film is shot entirely with IMAX film cameras on large format film. 70mm film has 5 perforations and runs vertically through the projector, so we can experience this immersive and special cinematic format. There's nothing like seeing a movie shot on film, presented on film.
Okay, cool.
Hi, I'm Robert Pattinson.
Hi, Robert.
And you can see Christopher Nolan's new movie, The Odyssey, on 35mm film. 35mm is the classic film format with 4 perforations and runs vertically through the projector. The Odyssey was shot entirely on film, so see it in 35mm with the lights low and a projector running behind you for an experience you can only get at a movie theater.
What's the point of these videos? They're all saying how great it is to watch it on film. Okay, I genuinely want to know what the last two are saying, because Dolby Cinema, I think, is digital.
Hello, Hello, I'm Zendaya, and I'm in Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey.
Hi, Zendaya.
And I want to share with you why seeing it in Dolby Cinema is an experience all its own. You know how important it is to see it on the biggest screen possible. Dolby's dynamic range of brightness and color draws you in, giving you a vivid visual experience, and what Christopher Nolan captured will be presented with impact. You will be wowed. See The Odyssey in Dolby Cinema.
So basically this one is also saying it's great, but it's not saying it's as... Why don't you say, okay, it's kind of trash, but like if that's what you have, then you go for that one. Because that's what's going on. That's what they mean, but they can't say, oh yeah, don't watch it like this. Except if you can't get it on any other way. Because that's the digital one. Okay, what does Tom have to say?
Hey everyone, it's Tom Holland here, and I am so excited for you to see our new movie, The Odyssey, in premium large format. Exhibitors designed these theatres to give you an enhanced experience. They have wall-to-wall screens and superior projection technology, so you are more immersed. If you want to feel the movie, see The Odyssey in 4DX or D-Box. Your seat doesn't just sit there. When we're moving, you're moving with us.
Oh, okay,
it's going to be a great time.
That's 4D, that's a different thing. Or like, you know, what's known as 4D or whatever. But that's... So basically they've got different actors telling you, oh, it's great that, you know, the one format is great because it's on film. The other format is great because it fills the entire field of vision. Even though that's a different format than the other one that's also fills the entire... That's, you know, the original, that's the way you want it to work. Like, this one said it fills the entire field of vision, but that's like not the one that they want you to watch it, right? Isn't IMAX 70mm, isn't that how they filmed it and how they want you to watch it? So why does she say, okay, IMAX is great because it fills the entire field of vision? And then she says, okay, film is great. He says, okay, film is great. Even though that film kind of sucks, I guess. Then she says, oh yeah, digital is also great. Go for it. Movie theater, great. And then, you know, Tom Holland says, oh yeah, large formats, even though basically what he's saying is like 4D seats and whatever. And like large format is like the exact opposite of the IMAX 70mm thing. Like this one is like super wide. And like the entire point of the movie is that it's like super high. What the fuck? I don't get it. That's what I meant. Okay. But excluding gun calibers, that's the one metric in the US. Yep. Of course, they got confused by it. Yeah. I don't get it. So like, okay, wait, no, I'm not done with this yet. So like that entire page of like all the actors telling me things about the formats, they all just say that the format they were given to talk about is great. It's such a great way to watch the movie. This is not a comparison. All of them say basically the same thing. This is the best way to experience the movie. Or like, at least those two basically say the exact same thing, because they're like the best and the second best way, apparently. But like, they basically say the same thing. Then those four also say, or like those two say, oh yeah, film is great. And those two just say, yeah, this is a great way to watch the movie. Even though it's the worst way to watch the movie. What's the point of this page? And like this page just makes... Yeah. Just like tell me which the best one is. And then tell me, okay, you can't get that one. Here's the best one you can get. Basically, give them a ranking. Give them an official, this is the best. This is the second best. This is the third best. This is the best, but you have to go to a different country to experience it like this. This is the second best, but you have to go to a different city. This one is available. Give me a page like that on your website, and then, you know, then we talk. Otherwise, what the fuck are we even doing here? Yeah. That said, it probably doesn't matter. Either way, you're watching a movie in a cinema. You're going for the experience of watching a movie in the cinema. You will get that experience no matter which version you watch. So they're making a big deal about it, and in the end, it really doesn't matter. Like, I assume that will be one of the things where, you know, you'll pay extra to get it in the best format. And if then they secretly, you know, you pay extra, you go to the thing, and then they secretly put you in a room with the second best format, you will probably not be able to tell. Like, if you get the 1 point whatever format, honestly, I don't care anymore. Like, if you get the second best one, you probably won't be able to tell. If they put you in the other one, you probably, if you were looking specifically for it, you probably are able to tell. But if you aren't, you are in the cinema, you are watching a movie. That's the experience you pay for, that's the experience you get. All the small details don't really matter. Okay, this basically kind of ties into, like, my opinion on, like, vegetarian meat substitute thingies. Same thing. Okay, this might be a bit of a jump. But I think it applies. Oh shit, wait, what am I doing here? It might be a little bit of a jump, but I think it might be a jump, but it's exactly the same thing. Like, if I go to, like, a burger shop and I go and buy a vegetarian burger thing, it doesn't have to taste exactly the same like a meat burger would taste like. It has to be a burger. As long as it doesn't actively taste shit. It's okay if it tastes different. It has to taste like a burger. It doesn't have to taste like meat. Like, if it's okay if I go to, like, a burger place, I order a vegetarian burger, I order a normal burger, and I compare them, and I'm like, oh yeah, I know that this one is the vegetarian burger because it tastes different. That's okay. It doesn't have to taste the same. It has to taste good. It has to fulfill the experience of eating a burger. That's all it has to do. Oh shit. Okay. I got lucky there. 2 50-50s in a row. And I got both of them right. And now it's time to just misclick and fuck it up. Never mind, I got another 50-50. And 4 times the charm. Oh yeah. Hope that makes sense. Like... Like, in many cases, it doesn't matter if any product, is perfect. It matters if it's good enough, if it fulfills its purpose. I think I had a completely different example for that as well. in general, but I forgot what it was about. But yeah, I mean, vegetarian meat substitutes. That's just like the number one where I hold that opinion, where it's like, okay, it's just give me something to eat. Like, that's one of the things that annoys me about like McDonald's just like basically canceling everything that vegetarians were able to eat there. Like, they did have the McPlant there, and then they just like stopped making those. And now I think literally the only thing that you can eat at a McDonald's in Austria, I know that like, you know, menus are different depending on which country you are in. But like, if you go to a McDonald's in Austria, literally the only thing that you can eat there as a vegetarian is fries, I think. Now, I'm not entirely sure if fries are even vegetarian, because they might be cooked in like pig fat or something. But I think what I heard is that literally the only thing you can eat there as vegetarian is fries. Which basically just means if I'm out with a group of friends and we're debating where to go to eat, I have to veto McDonald's because I can't eat there. Which means that none of my friends will eat there because I'm with them. And if I don't have anything to eat there, then we will pick any other place where there is something that I can eat. Which is almost every other place. Assuming we are in Vienna. Oh shit. Or like, well, in general, most places do have something that vegetarians can eat. That said, if you're like not in Vienna, if you're somewhere in the countryside of Austria, there is exactly one thing on the menu that you can eat every single time. It's not always the same thing, but most of the time it's like one of like 2 or 3 things. It's either like one that I've seen a lot was like a pan with some noodles in it and some fried veggies. And the other one is like mushrooms, like baked mushrooms. And also, it's always only vegetarian. It's not vegan. Like the pan with noodles, and like fried veggies. I think once I've had that at some place, and there was just like a fried egg on top of it. You know, you can order it without fried egg, and then it'll probably be vegan, I guess. And then, yeah, of course, the like fried mushrooms. When I say fried, I mean basically like a schnitzel. Like there is like breading on it, and then, you know, it's just like in oil or whatever. That one is probably not even vegan, just like from the breading, because like the way you bread things usually is like, what was it? First flour, then like milk and egg, and then like the breading thing. So like that's by default not vegan. So if you're vegan in Austria, you just can't go eat in the countryside. If you're vegetarian, then you will have exactly one choice. Well, okay, there's always the emergency choice of just eat some fries. There should be at least some options. Yep, there is one. And, okay, another thing that I found funny. If you label something as vegan, then the only people who will eat it are vegans and vegetarians. If you take the same product and you don't label it as vegan, everybody will eat it. There's like a psychological phenomenon thingy where basically people who eat everything, generally speaking, like, of course, you know, oversimplifying and like generalizing and everything, but like a lot of the time, you know, vegan food will be treated as toxic. You can, like, it's full of chemicals. You can't eat that. Everything that says vegan on it, poisonous. Do not eat. If you give them the same thing, you don't write the word vegan on it, perfectly happy to eat it. I've experienced that so often. Like, basically, okay, every time I'm like invited to like my grandparents to like, you know, a barbecue or something, I usually bring my own stuff and they just, you know, give me money for it. And I'll get like some like vegan sausages. And every single time I hear, oh yeah, that's full of chemicals. And I then go and take the packaging, I turn it around and I read the ingredients list. Water. What's another? Soy. Beans. Peas. Whatever. And I go through the lists and then I'm like, okay, sunflower seed oil. Salt. And that's the end of the list. And it changes nobody's opinion. Like, I don't get that point of view. I don't understand how there can be so much propaganda that's like, oh yeah, everything that says vegan is toxic. Way too many people think that. And like, if you look at the fucking packaging, it's all natural stuff mostly. Because the overlap of like vegans and people who care about, you know, natural food stuff is really big. Personally, I don't care. Like, I would be very happy if there was, oh shit, 50-50, and of course I got the wrong one. I would be very happy if like some brand would just go and say, here, we made GMO soy tofu. It's GMO and full of chemicals and all of the things that are generally considered bad, but it is cheaper than normal tofu. I would buy so much of that. Personally, don't care. But I know that a lot of people who are vegetarian and vegan and stuff do really care about, like, you know, what is called organic stuff. Yeah. So of course, if someone produces like vegetarian alternative stuff to meat, then of course they will make it like as organic as possible. Like, yeah. So don't know where that bias is coming from. But those things are made from chemical substances, just like everything else. Yep. One thing that I have not done yet is, you know, answer that with, you know, instead of turning it around and reading the actual ingredients, just like learning, or like, I don't know, have it open on my phone, the chemical composition of an apple, and just reading that off. And then when they are all like shocked how much chemical stuff it's in there, I'll be like, oh yeah, by the way, that's the chemical stuff of apples. This is just peas. Like, if you composition of apples, like if you give all of the like chemical names, then it sounds really scary. What about it? Tradition? What the fuck? Like semantic acid species, chlorogenic acid, caffeic acid, ferulic acid, pucomoric acid, caffeol. I'm not gonna try. Semantic acid, catechin, epicatechin, whatever. Just like learn that list, or like have it open on the phone and tell them, and then be like, oh yeah, by the way, that's apples. Never tried that, but sounds fun. But yeah. Or another, like, basically the opposite effect. As I was saying, like, if you label something as vegan, nobody touches it. At the same time, if you don't label something, if you go and buy something for your barbecue, because there's like one vegetarian person or one vegan person coming, and you buy them some stuff, first of all, whoever does that always buys way too little. Even for just like one person, they'll be like, okay, here's one corn on the cob, GG. Yeah, but even if you buy enough for the amount of vegetarians present, it will not be enough, because all of the people who are not vegetarian will eat the same stuff if you don't label it as like vegan in any way. If you're just like at a barbecue with like, you know, loads of people, and you just have like some vegetarian stuff that you make for the vegetarians, and you don't bring it directly to them, then it will all be gone before any of the vegetarians had a chance to eat it. Like, I literally have that happen so often. Like, the most notable one was at some point, we were having a barbecue again with like family and like other relatives, and what was bought for me was like some grilled cheese stuff. So like just cheese that is meant to be grilled, and that was the only thing that was bought for me. Like, that was the only vegetarian thing there. And, you know, I got like one of the, like, that was like discs or something, and they bought like 3 packages or something, which is more than enough for me. And I got like, you know, I got the first grilled cheese thingy, and I sat down to eat it. And everybody that walked past had a disc of like grilled cheese thingy on the plate, and I was like watching that while eating, and was like, I should get up and get more even though I'm still eating, because otherwise in a second I will have nothing to eat. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck is going on with that. Like, if you would have labeled that vegetarian, not a single person would have taken it. And I know that for a fact. But the fact that it wasn't labeled vegetarian in like big bold letters means that I almost didn't have anything to eat. Damn it. How often do I get 50-50s here? Yeah. So I guess next time I'm like invited to a barbecue or something like that, I will just like go there with like, you know, tiny little flags that just say vegan on it, and put that onto all of the vegan food. Because that immediately gets rid of anybody who wants to eat it. Shit. I also... Oh shit, wait, no. Other way around. another thing that I don't quite understand is sometimes people will realize that it's not toxic actually and will ask, oh, hey, can I try that? And then they will try that and will be like, oh, that actually tastes very good. You know, it tastes just like the real thing. And that will be the last time that they ever tried that. That's another thing that I don't quite understand. Where, you know, at this point, you have seen that it's not poisonous. You have noticed that actually it's quite good and you like it. So why don't you eat that? Like ever. I know that's more of an opinionated one. Like I know that one is very much a case of like, you know, personal opinion, personal ethics, moral, whatever. But like if you see that, you know, something with, if you see you're in the supermarket and you see something with meat and something that isn't meat, you know, that is fake meat, and you are like, okay, I know that the fake meat is good and that I can eat it and all of that. I don't personally understand why they would then turn around and take the meat. I mean, okay, the one thing I understand is that I think it's more expensive, like vegan alternatives are more expensive. Actually, I have no idea how much meat is nowadays. Like, I know that if you're at a burger place or something, you always have to pay extra for the meat alternative. But I don't know if, like, in general, like, what the price difference is. But I think, in general, meat alternatives are still more expensive because they also are, like, actively discriminated against by Texas. Like, that's one thing that is very infuriating. Like, milk has like a reduced tax, like in addition to current political affairs where there's like some tax reductions. Milk has always had like some reduced tax. It's not like the normal VAT of 20%. It's like, I don't know, 10 or whatever. It's you know, just like some foods have reduced tax because they're labeled essential foods or something. So I think that's like bread, milk, and I think also meat. Meanwhile, milk alternatives don't fall into that bracket. And so you've got like, you know, the normal 20% VAT, which means that they are more expensive. Purely because of taxes. Funny how much people are scared of genetically modified foods, but will not even question things like carrots being orange. Yeah. Oh, the funniest thing is when someone tells you, oh, you can't trust these meat alternatives because they are full of chemicals and everything, and then they turn around and bite into a Big Mac. And I'm like, you sure about that? I don't quite see your point there at the moment. Or like another thing, okay, not quite the same, but similar thing that happened recently that was really funny. In Germany, there was like, I can't explain to you how fucked up the situation was. But basically, there was a whale that was stranded somewhere on the coast of Germany. And all of the boomers went into a massive psychosis. That's the best I can summarize the situation. Because basically, experts were saying, oh yeah, this whale is doomed, it will die here. Like, this whale came here because it is, you know, weak and everything, and it is going to die. And there's no way to save it. And then a bunch of boomers with Reddit, a bunch of boomers Reddit their fellows on social media with bad AI songs and whatever, and basically said, oh, we need to save this whale. Meanwhile, all of the experts saying, this whale is dying. Do not try to push that into the ocean, it will drown. So boomers took like over $1 million and like paid for a ship that could, you know, push out the whale into the ocean. And as a shocker to absolutely nobody, the whale then drowned. Yeah. Why am I saying that in a discussion that isn't quite quite on that topic? Yeah. Because there was like massive protests or whatever. Well, not really protests, but like gatherings. Basically, it's hard to describe. But like there was events going on like near the beach where the whale was, basically saying, oh, we need to save this whale. Do you want to know what kind of food was sold at those events and very much consumed en masse? Fish sandwiches. Welcome in, Ian. We're in a bit of a rant mood today. Yeah. And so there were literally like interviews with like boomers standing there and are like, oh yeah, we've got to save this whale, this poor whale, we can't just like let it lie here and whatever. It's such a poor whale, we need to save it, we need to do all that we can do, we need to raise a lot of money and pay ships, and like the country should do that, and you know, government bad and everything, while holding a fish sandwich there in the other hand. And even at some point reporters were like, oh, what are you eating there? Oh, a fish sandwich. Isn't that hypocritical? And the person was like, no, not at all, what do you mean? This is food, this is a whale, it's different things. Completely different things. What are you trying to do here? Yeah. What? Yeah. Wait, let me see if I can find a clip of that. Okay, I think I found a clip. Okay. Do we have English subtitles on this? Hold on. Auto translate. I mean, I could also just like translate for you. Why is there no English? Why is there like all of the languages except English? Huh? Am I missing something? Dutch? Esperanto? Why is there a list of like... Huh? Does it think it is already English? Oh, I could auto-translate it to German. But then it just turns off... Then it just turns off the captions. Huh? I'll just translate it to Dutch for you. Have fun. Captions turned off. Okay, never mind. That doesn't work either. Almost lowered my intermediate PB by 7 seconds, but messed up the final click. Ah, shit. That sucks. English is available only with the voiceover, which is so messed up. I don't know. Okay, anyways, I'll just translate for you.
Ist das nicht ein Widerspruch in sich?
So the reporter asks, isn't that a contradiction that you're standing here? Isn't that a contradiction, basically?
Den Wal retten und das Fischbrötchen essen.
Isn't it a contradiction to save the whale but eat a fish sandwich?
Nein.
Warum nicht?
Weil es Essen ist.
No, because this is food.
Nahrung und einen Wal würde ich nicht essen. Das ist
And I wouldn't eat a whale.
hat mit dem anderen nichts zu tun.
Doch wegen dem Netz.
The one thing has nothing to do with the other.
Wegen dem Stellnetz.
Ja.
Das ist das Problem.
Das ist auch.
Okay, and this person actually made a good point. Because of like when in fishing, you know, whales are like accidentally hurt as well. So like, you know, when you fish for the sandwich, then other whales will get hurt and killed as well.
Richtig, ja, aber trotzdem.
Deswegen hat er das Netz im Maul.
Ja, und ich den Fisch halt hier.
Ist das nicht ein
Yeah. So, good points all around. Yeah, I don't get it. Fucked up. I mean, whales are not fish. Yeah. You see, I see the point that whales are mammals. So it is ever so slightly different. But I don't think that that particular person cares about whether it's a mammal or not. There was a cool bit of box logic in the previous game. I mean, this one? Hold up. Please elaborate. Like, there's the logic that this one is 50-50 if I don't consider this one. Like, if I consider these individually, like, these two tell me that it's one of these two. Same thing here. And then this is 50-50, so we've got a 50-50 times 50-50 thingy. Is that what you mean? Like, okay, of course that would hinge on being able to clear that or whatever. I'll DM you a picture in a minute. Cool, that would be great. Oh yeah, right. I think you or someone else told me that, you know, something like this makes it more likely that it's in here, which would have said that this is a good guess. This thing here. Which would have then also showed me a 4, which means that's one of those 3. Would it have actually told me? Oh yeah, but like this one would have been clear, which would have been a 2. Yeah. There would have been something interesting there. So I didn't do the best guess I could have taken there, I think. I think that's what's going on there. Yeah. I feel like as a grandmaster on this website, I should probably know stuff like that. I know there was a video that was linked to me like an eternity ago, and I have never watched it. It was like a 10-minute video, I think, that explains basically in cases like that what would be a good guess and what wouldn't be. Forgot about it. Whoops. But yeah, there you go. Have a little bit of weird German internet thingies. It's fine, TM. Yep. It is. Bomb technician is only wrong twice anyway. Why twice? I would have assumed once. That's a 50-50. And I got it wrong. Care to elaborate? First one being signing up for the job. Ah. I see. I see. Let's do the thing where you open all the corners. Yep. Oh. I see a DM. I don't see a DM. Or like, can you just like send it on the server? It's like your DM doesn't show up for me. Like it told me that there is a DM, but then I checked the DMs and it wasn't there. So like just throw it on general on the server or something. So use Control K on the server and a search for your name. I assumed it wouldn't have shown you, but it didn't. It would have shown you. Yeah, I don't know. It told me that there is a DM, but then it doesn't show me anything. I don't know. Can you just send it on the server? I don't know what's going on there, but I think that's just the quicker way. See if you ever know. Still doesn't show anything. Weird. Usually my settings shouldn't block anything. I don't know. No clue what's going on there. Are we good here? Nope. Wait, what happened to open up all of the corners? Me being distracted is what happened there. Just throw it on general or whatever. It should be a tab. Yeah, but it doesn't show that. Oh, whoops. Oh, so many misclicks in there. No clue how I survived that. I like... He said and then misclicked to end the thing. Post it on general reminds you. General reminds you about? Oh wait, the thingy. Okay, hold on. Ah, okay, I see that. Oh wait, that's not even the thing I was thinking of. Oh yeah, that's a cool thing. Like this one says 50-50 here. Wait, let me... Hold on. Let me... Oh, hold on. Hold on. What the fuck? I wanted to take a screenshot, but that taps me out of Discord. What the fuck? Hold on. So, I'm on Discord. I press snipping tool. I am no longer on Discord. What? That's weird. Okay. Paint. I can't just copy paste the thing, but I wanted to screenshot for higher resolution, but it's okay. But yeah. But that's a cool thing that you found there. Basically, yeah. Basically, this 3 and this 2 means that one of these two is a bomb, while this 3 and 4 says that one of these two is a bomb. And this 4 says that one of these two is a bomb. Now, if you combine these, then that basically means that the bombs are at a diagonal. Because it can't be both of them are up here. Because that would mean that the 4 has 5 bombs around it. It can't be that both of them are down here, because that means that the 4 only has 3. So they have to be like on a cross here. And because you know that, that means that one bomb has to be, as you nicely showed here in yellow, that means that one bomb has to be down here in one of these two fields. Which means that those 3 fields for the 3 would be safe. Because we've already got one bomb, and then here's the third bomb. That's actually a cool piece of logic here. Yeah. Nice. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah. So, hold on. Let me reset everything where it was. Exactly, else that will leave the box with a 50-50. Oh, you mean the box where I then died, right? But like that one wasn't 50-50, that was that other logic thing. Oh yeah, wait, that box that you were saying. Yeah, right. You're right. The box with the cross. Yeah. That is then a forced 50-50. Because nothing else can influence it in any way. That's a good point. So I would have been screwed either way. So, oh yeah, I wanted to open up all of the corners, but I forgot about it again. I don't know how much of an advantage it is actually to open up all of the corners, because that slightly reduces the chance for 50-50s. But therefore, you know, you lose quite a lot of the boards where there are bombs in the corners. So like you need to reroll a lot of the time, which takes time. So I don't know if the amount of 50-50s you reduce, the amount of 50-50s you reduce, saves you more time than you waste on opening up new boards. No clue. Probably. Because dying at the very beginning doesn't waste much time. But dying after 10 minutes because of a 50-50 in the corner wastes 10 minutes. You know? So even if you reduce it by like 1 every, I don't know how many games, that makes up for a lot of times where you do that. Don't have to reduce it by many 50-50s to make up for the time that you wasted. That said, you probably also won't reduce it by many. I don't know how the maths work out. Almost misclicked there. That would have been bad. $50-50. Okay, we survived. Let's go. I suppose there's a percentage threshold of games with a 50-50 in a corner where one is better than the other. I'm not sure where the game of this difficulty lies. Yeah. Me neither. I'm sure the math for that is quite complicated. And to open all 4 corners in HD games. Yeah, okay. I don't know. I usually just don't bother. But I've learned recently that for efficiency, it's really good. And immediately I'm thinking of that stupid fish meme again. Anyways. Fish meme? Hold up. Hold up. We've talked about this like 2 streams ago or something. Hold up. Do I have it? Where is it? Can't have been too long ago. How much random shit have I pulled up recently on stream? Wait, I think I had that on Insta... Oh, shit. If I showed it on Instagram or TikTok, I'm lost. Hold up. I'll find it. Is that a video? No. Okay. I found it. Found it. Hold up.
That's what we call efficiency.
Efficiency? Yeah, they're in there.
What?
Swimming and shit.
There you go. Have fun with that. One of the stupidest puns I've heard in a while. And now I have to think about that stupid meme every single time I say the word efficiency. Have fun with that curse. Corners are most likely to be openings compared to any other tiles it is. Ah, that's interesting. I don't know if I assumed that or if I just like start in one of the corners usually because that eliminates at least one of them. Anyways. So I think we need to guess again. That was a really bad guess because that was 2/3 for a bomb. I don't know why I did that, but it worked out. So it was a really good guess. You know what they say? What was the chance that there was a bomb in there? It's not 2/3. It's 50-50. Either there is or there isn't. Yep. That's how percentages work. So. Sure, why not? Yep. And I need to guess again. And it's looking like this time we actually have a 50-50. Which one helps me the most? Yeah, let's go for this one because that one helps me the most, I think. Nope. Destroys me. So I could say it's got a 50-50 chance of living. So there's only a 10% chance of that. As you want, good guess. Oh. Was that a good guess? Got a 50-50 chance of living. Though there's only a 10% chance of that. I was thinking of a different one. Which one were we thinking of? Hold on. Like something around here. Like we've got one here. We've got one here. So 2 in those 4. Like those 3 down here and that because of the 3. Whereas this one is a 50-50. So I guess this one maybe would have also been a relatively good guess. I don't know that this one because it's... No, wait, that's the weird 50-50. That's a weird, like, intersecting 50-50 thing. So I guess this or this would have been better ones. That's it. We've had a couple of seconds. Do you mean the 3-3 crossing where it's like one of those two? Or do you mean the one below the 1-1? I think I was already at the 3-3 at that point when you wrote that. All right. Was I in a game? I was not. Not getting a lot of openings recently. Okay. Where do we go? I don't see any really good. Nope. I just realized that one before would have been avoided if I opened all of the corners. Maybe it is a good strategy. What are the possible mine configurations on the yellow line? Which yellow line? Wait, did I know? Ah, now I see the thing. Ah, okay. I don't know why I didn't see that before, but hold on. There we go. Oh yeah, it's a free thing. So I feel like we've got like 3 possibilities. So let me... So first possibility. We have one mine here. Means this is clear. This is clear. And there's one mine in here. So second one would be, we've got a mine here, which means this is clear. This one is still one of those, and that. So that's just the inverse of those two. Like that one is the inverse of that. The one mine configuration is 3 to 4 times as likely as the 2 mine configuration. How do we get to that? Is there a simple way to derive that? Because that's not evidently clear from this, I would say. Also, this kind of reminded me of the Saddam Hussein. One minus density over density, where density is the number of remaining mines, number of hidden tiles. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, okay. If you do the maths, then yeah. Then again, if you do the maths, then I think that's a different level than what I'm doing here. I'm just going off of vibes. Why did I open that? I knew that that was a bomb. Lower mine count configuration, good. Okay, that's a very good way to put that, actually. Yeah, I think in this case we don't have a crazy high mine concentration for how big the field is. Like, of course, it's different if we have like a huge mine concentration, but I think in this case we don't. So yeah, good point. So I forgot who I am. I will never drink again. So, What else were we talking about before? Oh yeah, the whale thingy. Was there anything more to that? Yeah, not really, I think. I mean, the TLDR is all of the experts agreed if you push this whale out into the ocean, it will die. So what some old people did was spend $1 million on pushing the whale out in the ocean, and then it died. Yep, that's pretty much all there is to that story. And that shit like was dominating the news in like all of Germany and even spread to Austria for like weeks. Because it was apparently such a big deal. Yeah, 07 that whale. I think I've talked about this on stream before. But basically, another fun thing that someone... Okay, there were two really funny things that happened during that. First of all, ahead of every like major election in Germany, and we also have the same thing here in Austria, there is always like a website called Wahlomat, which basically is like you take a quiz on like, you know, all of the biggest political issues, like what your stance is, and then that gets compared to what the political parties answer to the same question, and then it's, you know, suggests you or like tells you how much you overlap, how much your opinion overlaps with all of the political parties. And, you know, very useful tool. And then somebody noticed that Wahlomat is only one letter of, like Wahl, the word for an election, is only one letter of the word for whale, Wahl, you know, in German. And so they made the Wahlomat without just like taking off the H. So like if you have like this is the Wahlomat thingy for like elections, and then we have the Wahlomat for the whale, and then like it you know has a bunch of really stupid thingies. Like just speedrun and quick random things, and yeah, at the end it tells you for which solution for the whale is the best one for you. Either like team let it lie there, team blow it up, or team save it. Yeah. That's really funny. Yeah. And then the other funny thing that came out of that was there was some like small band that made like a comedy song basically saying, let's blow up the whale. And that was also really funny. And so many people were so outraged by that. But it was really funny. Yeah. Right. Where do I have anything to do here? We're guessing again. That was not a good guess, I think. Let's sum up those corners. Oh yeah, another major thing that happened recently. Hold on, let me pull up the thing. So Basically, the European Central Bank is making new euro notes. I don't know if anyone has seen that, but like basically all of the new euro thing, like the euros get a new design basically. Not sure why, but I assume they will have some security features that the old ones don't have yet. But basically now there's like a thing, you can vote for which designs you want. They've made 10 different designs, and I'll just show them to you. So design A is... Huh? Oh yeah, that's how it works. Yeah, design A, some famous people. Like, wait, why is there no 500? Are they not redesigning the 500, or are they getting rid of the 500? Why? Hold up. New Euro Notes 500. It's not part of the Europa series. Decided to stop producing the 500. Oh. Didn't know that. Oh, apparently they stopped printing 500s back in 2019. I did not know that. 500 in this economy? No, like, I'm thinking the opposite, actually. I'm more confused about the 5 than the 500. Because everything is getting more expensive, lower end ones make less sense to print, and higher end ones make more sense to print. So it kind of surprised me that they got rid of the 500. Like, don't get me wrong, 500 is a lot of money. But like, you don't get particularly much anymore for 5. Like back when they initially made the 5 euro notes, you got like way more for 5. When did they make the 5 euro notes? When first 5 euro notes printed. Was printed and issued in 2002. Inflation 2002 to 26. Amount 5. Can I do like euros? I guess it's the same. It's worth 9. So $5 US. $5 in 2002 is worth 9 something US now. So assuming that euros went roughly the same, that means that the 5 note is now the 10 note. You see what I mean? Yeah, so it's kind of weird. Yeah, anyways, so design A, famous people. Like here we've got Beethoven, and here we've got Marie Curie. Marie, I always forget her middle name. That was really, or like not middle name, her original name. That was like really important. Maria Salomea Sklodowska-Curie. I'm sure I butchered that, but I tried. Yeah. Problem with famous people is how is it decided that she's on the 200, he's on the 100, and stuff like that. Then B, we've got birds. Design B for birds. Design C for famous people again. Is it the same people? Ah, it seems to be. Oh, I didn't even notice that. Yeah, it seems to be the same people, different design. Design D. Birds. Again. But this time, vertical. You can even see the back. Ah. Why is the back side not vertical? Yeah. That's weird to me. Why are they vertical? Like, I don't remember, or like I don't know a single banknote of any country that has like a vertical design. Like this is made to be looked at in this direction rather than other. Because why not? Yeah, you can say because why not, but like it's weird. The 201 looks like a photographer caught her by surprise. Oh, I assume you mean that one. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah. I heard worse. Missed opportunities to have bees as option B. More comfortable for the smartphone generation. Yeah, I guess. It's all arbitrary. Yeah, it is arbitrary. That is a good point. But it feels like you're kind of breaking convention for no reason. Honestly, this one feels most like conventional banknotes so far. Design E. Like this one looks very like very boxy, very like modern art. Here, like I mean, the bird designs are weird, and also it also again a little bit boxy, very like attempting to be modern. This one is like very modern art. This one is vertical. Then like design E feels most like the current banknotes so far. Design F, they're just, you know, same people, just drawn poorly. And different version of weird modern art where they just like splatter paint everywhere. G, again vertical, this time the people. And in like weird, in a weird art style rather than photos. What's the backside of this one? Ooh, I like... Oh, come on. Why are you turning them all around? Okay, I like the backsides of those. Wait, then... From a design point of view, from a... This is currency that I will have to use. It might be a little weird. Design H, we've got birds again. I know that a lot of people like the H one. It's not bad. Design I, again birds, but vertical and different birds. Okay, what I like is that there's always like a line here that the birds attach to. Like a mountain. There's always like a mountain line, or like the birds kind of flow into this design. I like that part. Oh, and the backside is architecture. That's cool. I thought that so far we were kind of missing architecture stuff. Canada has a vertical 10. Oh yeah. That's interesting. What does the 20 look like? Oh, the 20 is just like horizontal then. Okay, that's even weirder if it's not uniform. And then for J, we've got birds again. And again, vertical. Why is it all birds? Why not like animals in general? Or like, I don't know. In total, I would have liked more... I guess architecture is probably at the back. Yeah. Is that a thing for all of them? Like, I like our current... Oh, that's... Is that the European Parliament? Yeah. Like, I like our current ones. Wait, are this... Is that the current ones that I'm thinking of, or the previous ones? I think the current ones have, like, fake bridges at the back. They have bridges at the back that aren't actually, you know, that aren't any real bridges. Except that some artist in, I think, the Netherlands then went and actually built the bridges that are on the euro notes. Just like miniature ones. There's like a tiny river thingy. And he just like built tiny versions of the bridges that are on the euro notes. That were by design bridges that don't actually exist, so that no country can like claim favoritism or anything, which is kind of funny. So what are your favorites, chat? I kind of don't like any of them. So like this one is particularly bad. Okay, hold on. Tier list. Kind of running out of time a little bit. Hold on, we can make this quicker. I just need... No, I don't want a video. I don't want to download an app. Make a template. Here. Single step. Okay. How do I add F? How do I add more? Add row below. F. Yeah, fuck that row. So. Yeah, I know. So, okay. Hold on, speedrun. Tier list of the banknotes. What do we think? So, I think this one goes straight into F tier. Design F goes into F tier. Will the first. So, then... design A. Oh, I really want to put that into F tier as well. Is it fucked up to put everything into F tier? I feel like that's where we end up with. I really don't like that one. This one, I think, deserves a solid C or D tier. C or D? Where do we think? I think maybe C. That one's kind of mid. So, B. That one seems okay. I would say B tier. Okay, back modern style, but architecture. I'm gonna put that onto B tier. I'll take the 5 just so it's fair. Okay. B is pretty cool. Yeah. I think it deserves a B tier. D, design D, the vertical birds. What's on the back? Architecture. Oh, that's weird. I don't like that. Okay, I don't like that it changes aspect, like, not aspect ratio, like rotation. And also the weird hand thingy. Nah, I don't like that. Also, I don't like that it's vertical and so it destroys my tier list. That's C or D? I think C. It doesn't... yeah, it's not terrible. Yeah. E. That one looks most like currency to me. What's the back like? Okay, I think that's cool. Let's... Okay. I'm gonna put that into A tier. This one most looks like currency. A tier. It's not amazing. It's nothing revolutionary. So I don't want to put it into S tier. But like this, it looks fine. So F we already had. G. Wait, 2, 4, 6. So G. Vertical faces. I think it's better than the other artistic faces. So far. I want to put that into C or D, leaning more towards C. Like it looks fine. And it does like that's not Beethoven. It's weird that it's like artistic interpretations in a weird way. Like going from this picture to this. I don't know, that feels weird. Like this, becoming this. I don't know. So did I do I leave it at C tier or do I put it down because of what they did to... Okay, wait, as a reference. Okay, I hate the blocky. Nah, I hate that. I hate those designs. Oh, the backside is cool though. Wait. I like that part with Europe on it and like star signs. But, okay, that's 3 different banknotes that I'm looking at here. I'll leave that in C, and with that as reference, we keep that in C as well. What's the backside? The backside is quite cool. Yeah, okay. H. Again, that looks like banknotes. Like nothing special. But that, along with E, I want to say, looks most like banknotes. I quite like that actually now. Do I put it on the same level as A? Kinda want to. It's an A to B thingy. Design I. I like the line. Except they kind of fucked it up here. I like that they blend with their environment. I think this one is solid. I also like that they at least kept the rotation the same on the front and the back. Do I put this on the same level as H? Oh, that looks cool. And also E is in the same level. It is kind of cool. What do we have here? I quite like that actually. Here. The only thing that's putting me off of this is the vertical versus horizontal thing. But I feel like I'm judging that too harshly, so A. I'm putting it at the same level as the others. And then last, J. Kind of photorealistic pictures, like photorealistic drawing style. Again, I like that at least when you rotate it around, that you at least make both sides rotated. These feel a little too Monopoly money. Like not horrible. Still, I do quite like them, but they look more like things you would put on your wall rather than things you would have on your wallet. They look like paintings or whatever. Don't quite fit the vibes. Like this looks like a screenshot from a video game rather than a payment method. I'm gonna put that into B tier. I want to put that in B tier. It's a B to C, but B. All right. So that's the official new Euronote tier list by me. Can I? I cannot. There you go. Any questions, any disagreements? There have been 2 finished things on stream so far. I don't know either of them. Anyways, that's my tier list. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. I'ma have to call it early today. As I was saying earlier, is anyone live that I can read real quick? Following. A song by a Finnish band and the final design. Ah, cool. I didn't know that the final design was finished. And yeah, Carrier, right? How can I eat you quickly? What are people doing? I don't even know. I don't even remember who that was. I might eat you guys over to... Hold up. Wait, didn't I just see them? Here. I might eat you guys over to Tiny Hands. Have fun over there. So, thanks very much for watching. The next stream will be on Monday. By which point I will hopefully have gas for heated water and an oven again. If you don't know what that's about, go back to the beginning of the VOD. I had quite a rant session. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a very nice time over at Tiny Hands, who is doing Hurdle at the moment, which is always really fun. And yeah. Thank you very much for watching. I do have a raid message. Be sure to spam the raid message. And I'll see you on Monday. Have a very good night. Thank you very much for stopping by, as always. Click all of the buttons below the stream. And as always, thank you very much for watching. Tab out.